so many guys out there. Who I'm gonna say was the drama continues as always. We just had a present, but you want to be true, you make it true. So you get clicks, but when you go personal, what's really going on? Like, what's going on, y'all? This Greg said it. Back with another one. what's going on? What's going on this wonderful Sunday? We're close to scheduled time here, give or take, for our Sunday live. Greg said it live. My only true live show. You really think about it. Only live on Sundays. I do something on Thursdays. With B Watts, we've done that about a year. That's a live show. But this is a true Greg said it live Sunday. It originated during the season at the end of the week. The game may come on a Saturday, Friday, whatever. But typically on a Saturday, I come in on Sunday, kind of review what happened that week in the game. So that's the essence of it. Shout out to everybody in the building. I know people drop in. The schedule's been a little kind of in different places. Depending on what I have to do Sunday. My Sunday schedule was a little less hectic today, so I was able to get on my regular scheduled time right at it. So, but I wanted to give a shout out to, I guess for lack of better words, a sponsor here. And you see it scrolling at the bottom. You see the videos with the Tangler bots. A lot of good things. More and more people are getting it. Some people get more than one. It's a great thing to have. And I do my best to make sure that you all get what you need with this Tangler box, because we know this all season it's going to be on and popping, and you all gonna need it because you're gonna want to see these games. Some people reach out to me. I see some people start the order process, don't complete it. But one thing for sure, I'm serious about my money. And I'm serious about other people's stuff. I don't play no games, and you're gonna hear no games about me. Now, I'd have one request. When you all put your contact information, I just guess I have to reach out. Typically, it's a pretty smooth process. Uh, I'm trying to reach out to one particular person. I know last week an order was made. I don't know if they watching live or they watched the replay. But if you made an order last week, you ain't got your box because I haven't been able to reach you. And to reach out to my email, let me see. I'll make sure you all have it. Now, defeatcable.com, the website is there. Contact information is there. And so, you fill out an order form and all that good stuff. Let me see. So I want to make sure that that's clear. And so you have whatever you need. But you order on the order form there. And then at the bottom, you got contact information. That's not for you to order. That's for people who have any customer service questions. The phone number is on defeatcable.com to reach the, proper channels in the email as well, as far as the order, any questions and things like that. If you ordered last week, I have a person order 2 boxes, and I need an alternate address to make sure you get your box. Because what they don't want to do, they don't want to ship to no PO box or anything like that. So we got to work out a better, better way for them to get it to you. But I'm not trying to hold on to people's money. Communicate with me so I can make sure you get your boxes that you purchase. The order has been processed. We're just waiting on the shipping address. So give me another address. Reach out to the number that's on defeatcable.com. And that's in one person in particular. I'm not giving their name. If you're watching, make sure you do that. And I know they watch on a regular basis. Right. So I want to make sure that gets done. But yeah, I mean, we're doing a lot of good things. More and more people are using the defeatcable.com with the Tangler box, and it's a good thing. So y'all make sure y'all check that out. Y'all heard my spiel on that. If you have any questions, y'all, we kind of talked about this past Thursday. We had an interesting conversation, which y'all know I've had a few times when it comes to like Shedeur versus Cam Ward type thing and how I feel about that. I've spoken on that at least 2-3 times, and we kind of talked about that. And one of the things that kind of it's interesting. I mean, everybody had a pick, and that's fine. Everybody had a bias, whatever, far as who they go with. And of course, I think we lean here more towards the Shedeur. We know more about Shedeur than we know about Cam. So, at the end of the day, we don't see the level of adversity and tension going towards Cam. He didn't have that, the negativity. He didn't have the hate. you know, that he had. He didn't have the path. What's going on, Celeste? He didn't have that path. So it's like at the end of the day, let's be fair. What's really good with Shedeur? We don't talk about a couple things. Is it a conspiracy? Is it that? We still own that because at the end of the day, we seen a video this past week where Shedeur was out there in Miami. Anybody know Shedeur? That's what he do. That's what he do. He basically is that guy who, when he traveling, he gonna find a high school field, and if he had any time, he gonna go see them kids too. He gonna get two birds with one stone. That's what he been doing for years. That's his system. If he in Vegas, if he in New Orleans, if he in Georgia, wherever he is, he gonna stop by a school if he get there early enough, and he gonna see the kids and he gonna work out. He'll get out there and work out at 2 o'clock in the morning. As long as he has somebody to open the field up, cut the lights on, or whatever he arranged, it don't matter. He gonna get that workout in. They were so in awe because this time he really made a point. He put that helmet on. He took his helmet with him, the Cleveland Brown helmet, and it was pouring down raining. And he out there working out. He's like, is it that serious? Is it for show? Everybody got all that. Is it for show? Well, why he recording? If I know everybody else working, they ain't recording. Ooh, because now you're jealous of his platform because he can show you what he doing. And other people may be doing it, but they ain't showing you. They can't show you to that. Nobody checking for him. But what do you do when the guy has that kind of leverage? What's going on, R. Jizzle? He said, hopefully he's recording these videos for other teams. Hey, he gonna have to look out for himself at the end of the day. I mean, regardless of what team he gonna be on, is who gonna value him, who wants him. I don't know, man. I seen was it that guy G Bush? He up there in Cleveland. He kind of have a theory similar to me on you know, that the whole league gave Shedeur to Cleveland. That would look like to me. Everybody step back. The only person can touch him. Nobody else is gonna jump in and get him because the agreement was there that Shedeur was going to Cleveland. And I have my theories on why. He said, you ain't going? Okay, not only you gonna go, but you gonna go as a discount. We gonna let you know in this league we run it, basically. So, if that's the case, if it's like that, is that kind of fraternal? I call NFL a franchise. It's like everybody get a little piece of the franchise, like Subway. But at the same time, it's more fraternal than not because these people on the same page. Now they not finna mess up their little situation in the NFL that they got amongst the elites to try to undercut each other because they all on the same page. And it's like, in a weird way, I gave my conspiracy, whatever you want to call it, on when you got the NFL, they basically can decide who gonna win every year. I've been hearing that for years. I've seen it. And it's like, it's not all about the sports like you think. It's not all about the who's the best player in anything. In the music industry, in the sports, and it's typically about who the powers that be for one reason or another decide who it's gonna be because it's their thing. It's not like it's yours. It's not like it's yours. So when you look at the fact that if everybody's in on it, then they also can decide, hey, nobody touching. But you think that you in control over the fact of who you go to, if y'all gonna win, if y'all gonna go to the Super Bowl. And it's not really that. That's what I want you all to get. It's not really that. So the question is kind of rhetorical. Can they decide if he make it or not? I didn't really think it through, but now I'm saying, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. They can control if he get in. They can control where he go. Absolutely, they can control the impact he has. Because if he ever thinks that it's about him over them, if you're going to mess up what they got planned, they plan for this team to win, the other team planned, and you mess that up, you in a key position as a quarterback, it's a problem. Let me see this thing, this chat moving. Let's say, happy Sunday, Brown girl. Happy Sunday. We got Allen in the building. Always good to hear you from y'all. Yep, Allen in the building, a.k.a. Mr. Tangler. Yeah, our Gilles, he right behind him there. Yep. Said he say it's more about power control and narrative than the money to these guys. I mean, yeah, and then if that's the case, we got to see why. We got to see why. If that's the case, we got to see why. At the end of the day, if it ain't about money and we think it's about money, then what is it really about? Is it to build something else? Is it to wrangle you like some cows into this direction while stuff go over here? Like, what is this? Let's talk about it. We here. That wasn't planned, but we here. They're scaring it because he's showing the lead. He's serious. I don't even know if they don't see him as serious or not. I think he got to be serious about their business and not his own. I think that's what they're trying to show. They're not him being serious. Yeah, they may be scared because if he's more serious about his business than theirs, he'll mess up their business. If they say, "Hey, everybody in on this. This is how this season gonna go. These teams go to playoff," you fall back. If that's what they say, and you go and you don't gonna want to be rocky, and you just go crazy with it. You can mess up some stuff they got in place. I don't know if they want to risk that. I agree. The agreement to me was to bring his money down. That was accomplished. I think it's fair game, because he will only cost you. Yeah, not only will he cost you, but think about it. Why Cleveland? What's going on? We got dog pound in here. Why Cleveland? They could have brought his money down and he could have went to any other team. But it's a reason why he at Cleveland. It wasn't a random thing. It wasn't a random thing. It wasn't by mistake that Shedeur ended up in. It wasn't a roll of the dice. Nothing about these people and what they do. That's one thing you will know about these people. It's nothing about what they do that's random. It is not strategized and set in place. It's nothing about how they roll operates like that. It's no, oh, we didn't know we was gonna get Shedeur. Oh, what a surprise. Because one, they all in on it. It may look like I say, Ric Flair versus Hulk Hogan may look like, a great show, but you best believe it's choreographed to the T. They know everything, every move, everything they finna do. It ain't no surprises. So if this thing is coordinated and choreographed, you best believe these people know exactly what was gonna go down, who's gonna go down, all these draft games and all that. It wasn't like a surprise because they in agreement. Because how else do you coordinate these things and how the season gonna go unless you control who on the team, you control, the aspects of the game. Why would you have a game like that if you're not able to control it? It's like that's the case. Why does Vegas put so much effort into controlling stuff? Well, they say Vegas control. Why would they do that? If they want to control not only the money, who the money go to, who the money don't go to. If it's rigged on that level, I feel like it's not worth it. The thing that they have put him through. I know he won't play football. Still feel like that. One way or another, like your job, his job, one way or another, they gonna be controlling him. It's just the more they pay you, the more they feel like, hey, I got leverage over you. You better do what I say do. I think that's where it gets to at that point. But at the end of the day, they gonna be controlling him. Same way your boss gonna control you to a great extent. Gonna tell you when you can go to work, when you can not go to work, when you can be sick, not be sick, when you can eat. That's control. But also, like, if it's an agenda that they connected to politically or socially, you better align with that agenda, good or bad. And sometimes it look like you're against someone they real on the same side. They'll play good cop, bad cop. I believe that's what happened with Kaepernick. A lot of people look like the NFL was against Kaepernick. I look at it a little different because I look at the paycheck he got. The boy got more money from Nike after that. And Nike, is connected to the sports. Nike not going to go against the NFL. Like, oh, they the rebel. Nike's not a rebel. Why would they mess their money up with NFL? That's their main, at least collegiate NFL, that's their bread and butter. Why would they invest? They're not bucking that for no Kaepernick. Who is he? They gave him that his money was deflected from the NFL to there. He still, matter of fact, he got paid more money with that Nike deal, and then he was gonna get an NFL. His career was on the back end. He was on the sidelines, backup quarterback. Who knows how long he gonna pull that off? He got paid some good money from Nike. But it's like that was a big thing. All that stuff that was going on, and all that post represented. He didn't lose. Man was doing commercials and everything. Nobody was checking for him. Most people don't see that. They so blinded by the hype now. Quit. Don't be controlled. Look at what's going on. Pay attention. So it's a lot of agendas that come, and however they spawn, it come through these sports, and it's connected to a whole bunch of other stuff. And you pay attention. I ain't got a name, and just look at the major things that's hit over the last several years, and see how involved the NFL, the NBA, and all them was involved with it. All of a sudden, athletes became straight up sports people. You say shut up and play ball. They straight up involved with stuff that they probably shouldn't. But that's what it is now. That's the leverage of these sports. That's the influence of it, and that's how it's being used. So it's more than just a sport thing. If I put you in this position, you're on payroll to be represent whatever I tell you to represent. And if you show me you had a tendency to kind of buck up against that, I'm my own man, then I'm gonna let you know, no, that ain't what we need. I need somebody who we can trust and rely on, especially if we build you up. This machine builds you up to be this great thing. I can't let you just go out there and do your own thing. Like I gave the example, Michael Vick. I feel like that happened to him. What's going on there? They run. They say they want to make the Browns. They want to make the Browns for the. Some people make the connection to Watson. It balance out that situation. I guess. Hope they give a fair chance. It would be nice, but I mean, again, what's the point? It doesn't matter how great his skills and talent, because the good old boys network with him know that they are in control. Touch him to the how wouldn't it? We can call them good old boys, bad old boys, nasty girls. We can call them what they want. When they write the check, yeah, you best believe your good old boss got power when they write the check. It's just how far they want to take it and how far you going to let them take it. But at the end of the day, some people do some interesting stuff to have money. They make decisions as far as their careers. Like, for example, you may want to be at home with your family when you have a job. But your job may say, no, you working this weekend. You miss your family cookouts and weddings and everything because your job said you got to be there. They have you working on holidays, depending on what job you do. That ain't what you would be doing, but that's what they tell you to do. So how do we look at Shedeur any different? Or anybody? They say, oh, they want to do that. I mean, why wouldn't they? They making 300. You do it for 30. You do it for 30,000, 40,000. They do it for 300 million. It takes a whole lot to be. I'm a person that I ain't gonna be throwing no games. Okay, only reason that I came up with the Cleveland pick is for Cleveland at least break even. What? Yeah, I mean, it could be very much all that, because again, they are all. It's not like they individuals. Somebody try to argue me. The NFL, they independent. I mean, all these league teams are like a franchise up under a main corporation, which is the NFL. If you go get a McDonald's franchise, you just can't do what you want. You McDonald's, you got to follow the McDonald's rules. You're gonna pay the royalties and all that. Don't think this football is not like that. It's all points back to the NFL. Ain't no manager, ain't no owner above what the rest of the NFL doing. They're not gonna let one owner. They get rid of his behind. They run a coup if he gonna come in and run rogue, because they're not gonna mess it up for the rest. And they sure ain't gonna let no player do that. I believe this gym, but does help out struggles with Watson. I guess. But they ain't treat him like a. They ain't treat him like a franchise. Yeah, like I said with Captain Kaepernick, I don't know necessarily. Okay, this what I'm gonna prove to you. Since we get a little off topic, that Kaepernick and the NFL on the same page. Y'all just don't think. Y'all go for what these people tell you. Did not the football fields in the NBA all have Black Lives Matter on it? What was Kaepernick all that taking me put a fist? Was that not centered around Black lives? Was that not the same message that Black Lives Matter was giving out? See, y'all like y'all don't know the difference between the good cop and bad cop, or two sides of the same coin. Just look at the results, not all the hype in the line. The media lie to you, but all the time y'all ain't figured that out yet. They did put stuff out there, and it's so one side is obvious. I think Kaepernick was in on the thing, man. Nobody didn't include him in NFL. His career was over. He was the perfect sacrificial lamb. His career was over. He took the okie dokie. He took that knee and he became a superstar. He became, nobody even knew who he was. I mean, he had one good year in San Francisco. Nobody knew who he was. He became a brand name. And the NFL blocking him. Man, his career was over, man. He gonna come back and try to play. He wasn't even good. That's why I don't like when they compare him with Shedeur. He was an average quarterback. He had a good season, which again we say who they side go to the Super Bowl. It's ironic that Kaepernick was the one who was on that Super Bowl team when they played the Ravens, and he came out of nowhere and became a star. I think the quarterback got hurt. Kaepernick showed up as a hero. He really wasn't that good, and then he ain't had no good year after that. Within the next couple of years, that's when this happened. He was on the bench, but you knew who he was because he was that. You had that fight for Kaepernick thing. You had all that going on because you knew him from the Super Bowl. But you wouldn't knew him from the Super Bowl if they won in the Super Bowl. So it's like that's the storylines, the narrative. That's how I see it. Because the NFL was so against Black Lives Matter and black people, why were they the ones that had all that on the football field after COVID around that time? Why was they pushing all that message that had nothing to do with sports? The NBA did it too. Everybody was putting it. I think some baseball even did it, but the NFL had the junk all on them sidelines in the stands. We had them fake people in the stands with COVID. It was all Black Lives messaging. Black Lives was the big thing. The Black Lives took over and they were painting on the streets. And then we found out the people who behind it weren't even black. And then the people who was black, that was behind it, was running a doggone scam with it. And that's why you don't hear nothing about it no more. You don't believe me? Well, you've been on the rock, go do your research. Old girl was stealing the money, buying houses with it. And they had all kinds of other stuff that were coming out about it. But I'm saying, how did that get into the NFL? See, the NFL, they have some messaging and stuff that they push. And I don't know who paying who, but just know that they was involved. And Kaepernick was involved with that. And he got paid handsomely for that. He wasn't a victim. He got paid way more money he was on the NFL contract, making a couple $100,000 a year, whatever, as backup quarterback. He was at the tail, he going downhill. And you go get a $50 million Nike contract. And you get to be a brand name. Your hair was down, now it's an afro, looking like something in the movie. Like, now it's all perfectly coarse. It was all slick, and then it's like, yeah. And it's like, no, that like y'all see me show up tomorrow the afro. Y'all dumb enough to see that. I grew afro overnight. That's just weird, man. That's just weird. Yeah, I see it. That's why he called Greg said that. I went on that detour right there. But the Browns won it earlier. They made it. They made it around draft Jonathan. Oh, so the Browns wanted him and they made him draft him later. I don't know now. I don't know. What's earlier? Because they went and got another quarterback in the third round. They wanted to do so bad. Why they go get another quarterback? Or why they didn't get him in the third round and the other one in the fifth round? See, you know what I'm saying? It still would have been cheaper. Third round still cheaper than first round. So, hey. If it was all about football, then why wouldn't the Browns not got Travis Hunter? Why did they let Jacksonville get him? See what I'm saying? You was in position to get him. What's the point? Everybody fighting and throw games to get in position to have the first pick and the second pick and the third pick. You was there and you gave your pick away. So that's somebody telling you, hey, we decide how you gonna build your team. Because anybody in their right mind would have got Travis Hunter. Anybody who could get him would have got him. That needed him. You surely needed him. You needed the publicity. You need the talent. And you skipped over him. You gave him away. Why? Because you in the bed with these, making sure the other teams get what they get. as if it's your team, because y'all all the same. Y'all all the NFL owners. Y'all all have already agreed how this thing gonna go. It's already agreed about how the season gonna go, and they know that they not emotionally invested. They just money. They just whatever they doing it for. The people watching it is emotionally invested. You know, but how do you get if it's collusion to gain an asset? What makes the other team? What they ain't got nothing to do with you. They said that's your problem, right? Anybody in their right mind say that's your problem. If you leave them on the table, I'm gonna get them. If it's really about competition, why would the other owners comply? Why do they comply if it ain't what I said? If they're not on the same page, if they won't be punished, why do they comply? Why do you say, well, y'all better not touch them and I do it unless it's something deeper going on? Because that's the case. You playing around with them and I get them. If it's really that competition like we think it is. Example, unformed, say unformed Shedeur. Make sure that you get top pick. It's so long they control the narrative for him. Oh, they gonna control him. He ain't got nothing to stop it. He's a typical first round guy, and not the most talented, but the first round guy. But he missed the last 3 seasons, including the one with the suspension combined. Yeah, they paid. I'm sure they paying their price. You know, but he did something though. Whether it was a setup or not, he did something. Got that. What did Shedeur do? We didn't figure out yet what Shedeur did. We got fake interviews. Fake he was arrogant. Fake he don't know his stuff. Stuff we know. Like they could have set him up with the Watson Kobe situation, but they did. So again, it's different. Is it working? Tupac Shedeur. There y'all need to go get them shirts. Y'all need to go get them shirts because that's it. I mean, good. Yeah, he said. Yeah, he could not throw. Okay, now we got somebody know something. I don't think Shedeur gets no credit for his intermediate. We know he couldn't do nothing Shedeur did because he didn't produce what Shedeur did in college. So why compare him? Only fool would do that. And we know he didn't do what he didn't do what Shedeur did. He had the opportunity to do what Shedeur did. He couldn't. So you agree all you want. The facts are there. Lots of starting NFL because they can't make the throws he made. Yeah, and we know they can't because they didn't do it in their collegiate career. Everybody's not equal. We know that. But they put him below him. Surely we can say he is a better quarterback than what they took down there in New Orleans. Even dark. We can say that. Yeah, that was Afro Red. It grew overnight, perfectly round. Looked like a movie Shaft or something, Undercover Brother. The Afro came out. He went from having slick, baby hair looking like the barge, like some Hispanic straight hair, cut low, to a perfectly round Afro. My Afro ain't even that coarse. My Afro had more curls in it than he got. Come on, guys. Do better. I'm glad RGs will see. The NFL ultimately didn't place him after George Floyd incident. Yeah, but it was right. You remember they took a break off COVID for George Floyd. Y'all do remember that, right? COVID was here. They said, time out. Let's get this George Floyd situation going. And they went away for the summer. And then it came back for during the school year, which was football season. And that's when they didn't let nobody go to the games, and they had televisions in the seats and fake pictures and digital stuff. And nobody was able to go to the basketball games, remember? And nobody was able to go to the football games, and the football fields were empty, right? You remember all that stuff. And they started putting all those images on the field, projected on the field, and we watching the game. Like, what's all this advertisement? Yeah, that's fact. That's fact. I ain't know how the NFL gonna recover, but clearly they only was making TV money because they weren't making no stadium money. Because that like somebody came in the stadium and breathed on them, they would have messed everybody up. So they wouldn't even let people in the building. But it took a halftime for George Floyd and all that rioting during the summer. Oh, nobody worried about COVID, and that was fresh. COVID had hit March. Everybody was running for their life. We were locked in, and we hit about June, July. It was straight up riot fest and this and that and all that stuff going on. Nobody want to worry about no COVID. rallies and all that. Nobody worry about no COVID. And then all of a sudden they said, "Oh, I guess we're gonna spin it and say that caused it to come back." And then fall hit and everything shut back down again, which was interesting because some people predicted that, but that's conspiracy too. Now the coach did not want 12. He makes it clear every practice. Okay, like the coach don't know none of what he want. They got an out of shape defensive lineman. Yeah, I mean, on one end you look at it, you say, no wonder how people lose. Losers always make losing decisions. On the other end, you look at, no wonder people lose because it's designed that way. Look at the decisions that they are forced to make sure that they lose. Because you could have chose to have the top quarterback. You could have chose to have Travis Hunter, even with all this colluded crap. You could have had Travis Hunter and Shedeur, and you would have sold a lot of tickets, if anything. You made your money back and some. And some. Because they're going to play together at least 3-4 years. So you had all that. Nobody in their right mind walks away from that unless they either the most ignorant people on earth or somebody is making decisions for them and saying, no, y'all ain't getting this, y'all getting that. And that would make sense because if your football team is your boss, then who's their boss? The NFL, their boss. So just like I say, your boss tell you what to do, their boss tell them what to do. So they're not necessarily in full control at all about who they getting on their team. We're gonna use that logic. What's going on? We're not gonna use that logic at all. They ignore that logic. They say somebody say is Shedeur a project for the Browns or what? I can't tell you. I'll be a fool to tell you that because I mean, who own the Browns? I mean, who own the Browns and who is he submitted to? We talk like the Browns in authority. The Browns didn't create the NFL. The Browns are a subsidiary agent, subsidiary, whatever you want to call it, of NFL. So they're not making no decisions outside of what NFL tell them can do. If they do, it's a price to pay. So I'm telling you, I'm trying to really see what the agenda is for the NFL, honestly. I'm trying to see what their goal is. I'm trying to see what the agenda is for them. I'm trying to see the agenda for the Browns. I'm trying to see all of it, honestly, before I can make a decision. I would love to sit up here and act like I know something based off of what I think the NFL. But if I really look at the whole big picture, the Browns can't move without the okay from the NFL. Some people so naive. They think the NFL and the team is the same thing. It's like the NFL is the brand, and then you have little franchises up under the brand, right? And those are the teams. And when the owners get together, it's like we part of this franchise. We determine we're gonna add another team. They have to vote to say, all right, we're gonna allow another team to come. We're gonna expand the schedule. We're gonna change the rules. They come together as a collective. This is a collective. So don't think that nothing the Browns do, anybody do, that's not part of the collective. And don't ever think you too far removed from a collective making some bigger decisions outside of what you think they're capable of making. Because they are the ultimate team. Because they determine what moves and shake in that league. That's the price they pay to be an owner. How much money they had to pay the NFL. All these are billionaires. How much money they had to pay to be able to own a team and to be able to make decisions, have a voice in the NFL. That's a whole nother thing. How do you even get to the point where you can have input? I mean, it's so many people. I know it's not a lot of billionaires compared to everything else, but I'm sure it's a lot of people out there who want to have an NFL team, but they got to be part of the vision. They got to be on the same page. You can't come over here and say, I'm my owner, I make decisions like this is my company. No, it's not your company. Your company is up under the NFL. So before you can, it's like if I go to McDonald's, I can't say I'm gonna run McDonald's the way I want. No, you're gonna run the McDonald's the same way everybody else running it. Your fries gonna look the same, we're gonna use the same vendors, We're gonna have the same branding. You're not gonna call the Mac rib the Shaq rib. And the only way you're gonna do anything is if we tell you can do it. And you if you mess it up for the rest of the doggone McDonald's in the area in part of the company, the corporation, we gonna get rid of your behind. It's a violation. And you gonna sign an agreement as a franchisee to follow the rules. With NFL, it's franchisees are the teams. And they got some rules they follow. Hey, when we come together, we're gonna make these decisions. If we make certain decisions, everybody gonna be on board. Nobody's gonna go out there and say, I'm gonna do my you don't own NFL. You own a share of the NFL. You own a team. With that perspective, I can't ever act like the Browns making any decision unless they go talk to Daddy first. Daddy, they gotta talk to Big Daddy NFL. Appreciate it. So if it's that layer, surely they can do what they already have done. It shouldn't even be a question of what they can do at this point because they've already showed you what they can do. They already showed you they can make you look like a fifth round draft pick when you a first round. And everybody, I ain't never seen that no drop like this. They showed you we can do it. We can do it. It's gonna be questioned if something weird happened in the game. If you watch my show, I'll tell you. Cause I'm not a big NFL guy, and even when I did watch it, I didn't have a show. But I ain't cared to watch it. But just like I seen the stuff in Colorado when the referees was cheating and doing weird stuff, I would point it out, and they like, that's what I do. Like, some people look at that. I look at just the nuances of how things come together. That's what I look at. Oh, they keep. Hey, you go and join any franchise, Subway, Taco Bell, KFC, you name it. It can be outside of the food industry. They gonna tell you this is how the operations work. This is how you going this is what your employees gonna wear. It's gonna be consistent. You go get a Chick-fil-A franchise. You think you finna look any different in there? Your customers gonna talk like all the other Chick-fil-A's. Your uniform, your language, your culture, how the restaurant look. It's gonna be a carbon copy of the other one because that's what a franchise do. You got different personalities and different management. You got different culture from that standpoint, but it's the NFL. NFL, fine your butt for not wearing your socks right. Not your team, the NFL. Because they expect everybody in the NFL wear them little janky socks. You can say, you seen Shedeur? Who was he talking to? I think he was talking to one of his teammates. I forget his name, running back. I think he went to Ohio State. He was gonna try to go out there when they went to the little jersey situation, and with a little rookie top, how was it, top 50 rookies or something like that, and they all went up there with these little jerseys and they were taking pictures. And Shedeur said, "Man, you better put them socks on." And dude like, "What you talking about?" Shedeur know the game. Dad was in the NFL. He know why you think his dad was so particular about how they dress. Cause he said, "I'm getting y'all ready to NFL. Y'all come out here, dress code. Send y'all butt out the field. I'm gonna torment y'all behind. Cause the NFL, they gonna find you. So I'm gonna give y'all the closest thing to it." And he act like, he act a big deal. Coach Prime make a big deal. Everybody better wear the same shirt. I know y'all got 5, 6 shirts. Everybody better wear the same shirt, the same shorts, same socks. Don't be come out here trying to look like an individual. He's getting them ready for the NFL mindset. The NFL mindset, you think I'm grown, I'm in the pros, I'm an individual. No, buddy, they're not playing with you. Yeah, it was Junkins. I bet it was Junkins. He's talking to Junkins. And Junkins was like, oh, thanks for telling me. He thought Shedeur was playing with him because clearly Shedeur be playing with them, joking with him there, that nonchalant stuff. They don't be knowing he's serious or not. And he thought Shedeur was playing with him. Shedeur like, "Man, you better put them socks on." He's like, "Oh, Junkins don't come from NFL background. Shedeur, no, he's born and raised in it." But that goes back to say, these guys are on the same page. Ain't no one team got to wear and the other one. All they got their little spark, little striped socks, look like something from the 80s. They say all y'all got to wear these socks, part of their uniform. Certain things you can't put on that's gonna and this go all the way back, and this in NBA, this in all of them. I mean, NBA you wear different shoes and stuff, but I remember when I saw the movie with Jordan, and Jordan, couldn't have certain colors in his shoe, and if every time he wore it, they got a fine. I remember Coach Prime talked about how he bucked up when he cut his jerseys off like Jackie Robinson, and he was gonna get fined, and then the whole team did it. They just redesigned the jersey because he couldn't be the only one out there with his jersey cut off. He just can't do what you want to do. The whole team had to go cut the jersey off just so he could do it. Browns fine Odell for wearing personal cleats. Yeah, like a lot of that stuff Shedeur doing, like him and Trav used to do with them custom cleats. They ain't gonna be able to. They might not be able to do that. They might not be able to do that. You know, it's just ways of doing stuff. It's ways of doing it. Like you got to sponsor stuff like that, but then you also gonna know what you can't do. And if you do what you can't do, they gonna fine you tens of thousands of dollars. And you better be making $1 million a game because you got taxes, you got your agent, you got all this stuff come out your money. And if you're only making, you want to like a Shedeur, he got a $4 million contract. He might make a little over 100,000 a game. So you imagine somebody go say, I'm gonna go and take 10, 20 grand out your check. That's different than if you made $1 million a game. But who wants to give up that kind of money? But that's the power they have, y'all. That's all I want to portray. These people have the ability to do what they do. Don't get it twisted. This is not about him. You can be in your feelings. It's not about talent. This is about this man is in a place where he's in the big leagues now. I always saw this day coming, and I always wondered how it would go. But you're in a situation now where Shedeur has to make decisions on, who's your daddy, who's the boss now. You can't buck like that. And maybe it makes sense why they would say D don't want to come up here to protect this child. Because and they'll block him if that's the case. It's on time. They'll play a lot of what custom cleats. Yeah, my calls, my cleats promotion. Exactly. There's rules to this thing. Don't get it twisted, y'all. I hate to say it, but I don't hate to say it. Don't get it twisted. Shedeur's in a situation, he's in a very pliable situation. They could either make or break him. As far as his talent may keep him around, but they might play with him, move him around, don't let him start. They can do that, man. Yes, they can. And you can get mad, but they ain't got nothing to do with him. They got to do with who writing the check, who making the decisions. You can get into why, and I hope you're right about the why. But I'm telling you, they're willing to go to a lot of ends in the stance to let you know who's boss. Especially if you like, I got money, I'm good, I'm on your level. If you like that, you're a threat. You are a threat. Because they can't just tell you what to do. They can't just stroke a check at you because you already got money. Only a short part of the season, but players have to be promoting their cause that they're donating towards. Yeah. Yeah. It just ain't do what you want. It just ain't no. And on one end, you say that makes everything look professional and neat. But on the other end, it's like it lets you know how much power they got. He's moving smart outside of the speeding tickets. He hasn't bought any luxury vehicles up there. Yeah. Yeah, it's really different if he has got that 40 million. He's about 10 times more. His plans probably got detoured. Thoughts on NC players in the NFL. I think the preseason will say a lot. We know that Weaver is still down there doing his thing, Xavier Weaver, and he had a good season last year. And I know he got kind of hurt or something at some point, but he did his thing during last preseason. I was able to catch him on the Tangle box. And I think Jim Horn, we're going to see what he's doing in the preseason. LeJounte doing the preseason. And we're going to get to see them boys down in Jacksonville. You got Silman Craig down there. You also have BJ Green down there with Travis. So we're gonna get to see what these guys do. Well, can they make the team? Are they going to practice squad? What are they gonna do? And then of course we got Shiloh. See what he do in Tampa Bay. So we're gonna be watching all these guys, and it's just gonna grow from here, from year to year. Different guys gonna come out of Colorado as you watch them, and you're gonna keep track of them because you've been watching them since they was juniors and sophomores, even freshmen in college. And that's the beauty of it all. So y'all, with that, I'm gonna go ahead and close out on this wonderful Sunday. I appreciate y'all coming through again. We got that Tangle box rolling the bottom. Um, I mentioned earlier, I've been trying to reach out for a person who ordered last week. This time, haven't been able to reach them. If you're watching, make sure you get in contact. My information is on defeatcable.com where you order by clicking the button. You in buy through that button, but contact information is at the bottom of the page. How you buy is right there, like I said, on the top left, defeatcable.com. You click the button and you buy. Right now, we run a special $2.99. Y'all know everything high, even the doggone cheeseburger is high as a kite. So y'all better get them while prices low. Everything been going up, and I've been able to get you that discount. But I think even if it was $400-$500, it'd be worth it. It's only $2.99. So you can't tell me $2.99 ain't a good deal when you're paying almost $200 a month. And I heard some people say they're paying $350 a month. You can't tell me $300 for one time ain't worth it. And I'm gonna tell you, our Jizzle got his box. He can tell you, and Alan Ben had his box, and he could tell you. And we don't add to several people. Like I say, it's gonna come a point where enough y'all get it. We're gonna watch the game together because I don't like watching my game with people who got regular cable because streaming runs a little delayed. So I hate watching the game, and they be like, oh, and then it'd be like a whole minute later, and I'm just not seeing it. And like, the streaming is delayed. It's like y'all watching me right now. I guarantee y'all what I'm saying to y'all gonna hear it about 10 seconds after I said it. Because that's what streaming is. It's delayed. It's just how it is. So, this is stream. IPTV is stream. So y'all see the information at the top. Right there. It's right there. Right there. I know y'all see that big old yellow thing right there. You got that down there scrolling, all that scrolling right there. I'll tell you what's in it. I don't create a whole website for y'all. Smooth process. You just simply go in there, buy the thing, and I contact the people, make sure they ship your stuff. But I'm telling you, I ain't really have many issues with it. But they ain't shipping to no box and then out of the country and all that and boxes and all that. So that can get complicated. But if y'all put a US address on that, it's not a box, I can make sure you get your box. And I need to know that ASAP because within a day of you buying it, I make sure they process your stuff. And we've been doing this for 2 years. We don't have no issues. Ain't nobody got this box had no issues getting their stuff. Because I don't play the dumb games. I don't play games myself. I don't play with other people. You order your stuff. I make sure they process it. I get your tracking number. I put it in the thing. You have your tracking number. You know when to get there. Within about 5 days, you should have your box. Boom. It's just that simple. So if you don't have your box from me, it's because I don't have the information and I can't contact you. So make sure I'm able to contact you. And you always contact me. So I'm trying to get one situation processed. I want to get this done so we can move on and make sure you have what you paid for. With that, y'all have a good one. I'll be talking to y'all soon. Make sure y'all haven't subscribed. Make sure y'all like, share, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all Sunday.